In the world of Bluetooth speakers, Fugu is the new kid on the block. Not only does the company claim that it has better sound than any other Bluetooth speaker on the market, but they also claim that it is water and shock resistant. We're going to put that to the test. The Fugu comes in 3 different variations: the Style, Sport, and Tough. Now, the Tough is what I'm reviewing today, and it's a $30 premium to the other 2 options, weighing in at a rather hefty $230. Now, the 3 speakers share the same core. The sound is identical, they're all allegedly waterproof. Really, the only difference between the Style, Sport, and Tough models is the enclosure, or as Fugu calls them, the jacket. And each has its own level of shock resistance. The Fugu Tough, which is what I have today, is ironically the toughest. The Fugu features a pretty standard plethora of buttons on top of the device. Volume down, volume up, a center button, and it actually has a really nice mic which makes phone calls just superb. Now, ironically, the double tap to go forward, triple tap to go backwards is not present on the Fugu. They've kind of reinvented that and have different key combinations that will control your Bluetooth device, which is not a big deal. It's just a little bit of a learning curve. On one end, you'll find the power button, which also is the battery indicator, and you'll find a Bluetooth button as well. Now, that's not just a pairing button, but it will actually allow you to toggle through several devices to which you are paired, which is awesome because if you're paired to your MacBook and your iPhone at the same time, you can toggle between both of them at the touch of a button. It's freaking amazing, and other speakers I've found don't really do that. On the other end, you'll find your micro USB and your line in if you do not have a Bluetooth device. Now, one thing that's interesting on the Fugu is the battery life. It is superb. I don't really remember how many hours they rate. It's like 40 or something like that. But I've had this thing for a month. I've used it a ton, and I've charged it, I think, once. Now, obviously, in a Bluetooth speaker, the most important thing is the sound, and I'm going to go on record by saying that this is the best portable Bluetooth speaker I have ever heard. Yes, it's better than the Logitech UE Boom. Yes, it's better than the Soul Republic Deck. It is better than the Bose SoundLink Mini. It is the best sound I've ever heard coming out of a small speaker, and I'll tell you why. The low end is very present, but it's not dominant. The trebles, the high end is very, very clear, but it's not piercing, it's not harsh. The mids do not exist in Bluetooth speakers, ever. I mean, that I've seen, they're just crap. But on here, they're existent. Maybe they're not great, but they're there. And so vocalists sound a charm on this thing. Just listen to this track that I'm listening to. This was recorded through a microphone.
Insomniac on your permanent splendor. Your echoes cataract. Are you waiting for me? But is it all cracked up to what it's supposed to be? Oh, lover, please tell me.
It sounds freaking awesome. Now, here's where things may get rocky. Get it? If there's anything I'm famous for, it's for putting stuff through the paces, and Fugu claims that this thing is water and shock resistant, so let's see if it really is. So last night, I came into the office, I filled up a 5-gallon bucket full of water, and I dropped the Fugu clean in while it was playing music. Now, the music sounded terrible underwater, but it kept playing, which is pretty impressive. Now, when I went to go grab it out, you can tell that the track restarts. That's not any fault of the Fugu, rather it's my Samsung Gear Live. The touchscreen just wigs out, and so it started the track over. But it kept playing even though water was all over it and inside of it. I dropped it back in for just a safety check, and I left it in there for a good 5 minutes. Now, it sounded a little bit wet, but rather than give it mercy and let it rest, I decided to drop it off a ladder. Just so you can get an idea, I'm 6'4". The ladder I'm climbing up is a little bit over 6 feet, so I'm pretty much dropping this thing at about 14 feet. And you can see it holds up excellently. You can't hear the audio, but it kept playing while it was actually dropped. Now, the problem was I didn't remember to put it on slow motion, so I had to drop it a second time from that same height. This slow motion is awesome. Watch. So your question is probably if this speaker withstood the torture tests, and let me put it this way. Everything you saw in this video up until the water test was filmed today. I did these tests last night. The speaker works a charm. There are a couple of scrapes and a couple of boo-boos on it, but in terms of sound, it sounds absolutely fantastic. So I would recommend this unconditionally. It is superb. It's a great speaker. It is a little bit more expensive, but if you're looking for a good Bluetooth speaker, look no further than the Fugu. I'm Quinn of Snazzy Labs. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay snazzy. See you later, folks.